Irish brown crab has got to be one of the most versatile ingredients. You can put it into fish cakes, you can put it into a soup, a risotto, or even have it on a salad with some lovely brown bread. But what I'm going to show you is a lovely pasta recipe. I'm going to show you how to make a nice simple quick tomato sauce. I'm going to spice it up with a little bit of chilli, serve it with some pasta, and that's really it. But for me, the star of the show is our beautiful brown crab. So this is it, it's cooked already, so it is. And I think really we're very, very lucky because in Ireland we have such clean, beautiful, pristine water. And that's what gives our shellfish, in particular the brown crab, such a unique, sweet, delicious flavour. So these are known as the crab toes or claws. Okay, there's a lot of meat in that. And then you can buy it like this. So it's already cooked. So this is the white crab meat. And then we have the brown crab meat here. So you can get it in either form like that. It's cooked already, it's pasteurized. You can get it from your local fishmonger. You can get it in the supermarket, small little packs like that. And I would recommend always have a pack like that in your freezer. Freezes perfectly, but there's a very good shelf life on that. And that's all ready to eat, which is perfect. Okay, I'm going to start off with the sauce. We're going to dice a red onion. So we are. So I've just put a little bit of oil into the pan just to get this warming up. So it's a really, really quick recipe, this. So I'm using some Irish rapeseed oil. Okay, so that's what I'm using there. I really like this in the sauce, or you can use some extra virgin olive oil. But it's nice to support as much Irish as possible. I think more so now than ever. You know, we have fantastic producers. And, you know, as a chef, you keep reminding ourselves how hard fishermen work. They really do work, as well as farmers do, but fishermen too, in all kinds of weather. So I'm going to dice this nice and small. I've peeled the red onion. I'm curving my fingers. And what I do is go 3/4 to the end of the onion. I'm just going to make a little incision here, okay? So go 3/4, 2 little slices, and then curve your fingers. And then you have that really nicely, finely chopped onion. Now you don't want it too fine, but you don't want it too big either. So we're going to soften this with a little bit of garlic and a little bit of chilli will go into this also. So it's a really, really quick recipe because the thing is when you get that beautiful fresh crab, which is freshly cooked, you know, it's going to just go in at the very last minute. You're just warming it through. So I'm just going to dice this and then we're going to do the other half. Same technique, big point of a knife, go 3/4 to the end of the onion and then make 1 or 2 incisions and then curve your fingers like this. Okay, perfect. Now, garlic works really well. And I suppose that's the beautiful thing about crab. It can take on a lot of different flavors. You know, you can just keep it very natural with a bit of lemon mayonnaise and brown bread works really, really well. Or what I like to have it is with this pasta here, which works really, really, it's kind of like a lovely kind of family meal. That's exactly what it is. Okay, so that's our onion. Pan is nice and hot. I'm going to crush the garlic and then we're going to pop this in. And then we'll pop in our chili. So just, if you want to, you can just literally have the garlic peeled, crushed, and then this goes all in here, and then the chilies in a moment. Okay, so we're just going to crush that, scrape that off, and then just bring over your board. And the easiest way is just to kind of swipe that in here. That's exactly what we want. Now we don't want this to burn, so we need to be very, very careful of this. Okay, so using a spatula, you can use a spoon. Just give this a little stir. Then we're going to put in our chilies. So we'll talk about the chilies. These are a mixture of chilies, green, the small little one here, the bird's eye there. So I want a nice little bit of a kick, but I don't want it too hot. That's really important. So I'll just use this little chili here, the green chili. And nowadays, like, we can grow chili in Ireland. It's incredible. You know, in certain parts of the country. Watch the fingers. I'm not, and then wash your hands after this. So I'm just going to put this in here, just to get this cooking. That goes into the pan, and then the same for this. Now we're going to just let that just soften, just for a moment. And if you want to, you can wear gloves, wash your hands, but always kind of cut it nice and small. Now I'm a big fan of chili. I have to say, I like it. Everything in moderation. So just let that soften for a moment. That's looking really nice there. Okay, perfect. Next thing we're going to put in, I'm going to wash my hands straight away after this, is these chopped tomatoes. These are the San Marzano tomatoes. So these are reckoned to be the best chopped tomatoes. Move that over there. I'll stir that through in a minute. Just wash your hands after the chili. Because if you scratch your face or anything like that, it can really irritate and annoy you. Okay, just going to stir this through here. Gonna let that cook now, turn up the heat a little bit. And then we'll get in a little bit of basil into this, and then we'll put in the cherry tomatoes. So I'm just gonna let that cook away there just for a couple of minutes. Into the water, then we're gonna cook some pasta. So a nice big pot of boiling water, some sea salt, and then I'm gonna use some fresh spaghetti, so I am, because it's nice and quicker. You can use any kind of dried pasta. So a nice big handful of this is gonna go in here. Make sure it all goes into the pot. So it works really, really well. The lovely sweet softness of the crab, the tomatoes, and then this lovely pasta, the fresh pasta. Or you can use dried. Just give it a little stir, and that's going to cook really, really quickly, and then we'll just put a little bit of butter in that, and then we'll mix everything together. Okay, what I'm going to put into this is a little bit of lemon. So I'm going to grate some lemon, which works really well. So a little touch of lemon. You could use lime, but I think lemon, of course. And crab. It's a match made in heaven. I'm also going to put in some of these cherry tomatoes. So I'm literally going to cut them just into quarters. So there's a little bit of garlic there. I may as well not waste that. And this is going to give a little bit of texture. So you have those lovely kind of sweet Italian tomatoes. And then we're just going to put these in here just to warm them through. That's all. So this is going to give nice texture to the actual crab. And to the pasta too. So put this in here, into the pan. Just stir that around. One more here. And then some lovely fresh basil. So just to recap, we've diced one red onion. They're nice and sweet anyhow. A couple of cloves of garlic. We added in the can of tomatoes, and try and get the San Marzano tomatoes. They're reckoned to be one of the best that you can use when you're using the best crab. Why not? And then we just mix this all through. So we put in some cherry tomatoes, a little bit of chili, and you can leave out the chili. You can just leave it very, very, very plain if you want to, because sometimes maybe there's kids that don't like spicy food, or people don't like spicy food. So let that cook out there. You can see that is cooking up nicely. Our pasta won't take long, and I'm just going to get a little bit of fresh basil. So we're going to add into the sauce. So these little plants of basil are brilliant. They add so much freshness. So I'm going to pick some of this here. You could use coriander, but I think fresh basil with the crab will work really, really well in this. So I'm just going to literally shred this. Now normally you tear this, you can do that if you want to, but this is just going to go in there, curving your fingers, good sharp knife. Okay, so just rock it over and back. And then if I leave this for about maybe 10-15 minutes, it's going to go black, but it's going to go straight into the sauce. So you think of those lovely tomatoes, that basil there works really, really well. And then for a little bit of savouriness, these are some capers, and they're in salted water. So these are optional. You don't have to put that. You can put olives in. I'm going to sprinkle a few of these in here. That's gorgeous. Now, when do we add the crab? The crab is ready to go in now in a moment. I just want to check in the pasta. The pasta should be done when it's fresh. It doesn't take long. Just stir this through. So there's already some lovely colour. We have that lovely cherry tomatoes. You have that lovely kind of sweet and sour taste, especially with the capers. I'm going to strain my pasta. So I'm just going to use a little sieve like this, switch it off, and then just drain it down the sink. Now you can use linguine, you can use penne pasta. You can actually serve what we're doing here with a little bit of mashed potato or with some rice if you want to. So just let that, just give that a little shake. Let that sit for a moment. Now let's talk about our beautiful white crab meat. So look at those nice big chunks. So this is already cooked. Okay, you need to be, they've removed as much shell as possible, so there's no shell in there at all. So be very, very, treat this with a lot of respect and care, because it's a very, very special and unique ingredient. I'm just going to warm this through here. So this is our Irish brown crab that's going in there. So we have the lemon zest, which gives lovely freshness. That's really important. And then we're just going to stir this through here. And you can see the way it kind of just lightens it up. So you could have your tomato sauce made already. Just remove your crab, just literally at room temperature for about 15-20 minutes before you're going to eat this. And then we're just stir in. It's gone quiet now. And then we're going to stir in our pasta. So look how good that looks there. I'll just show it up to you there. Look at it. So you can see the texture from the tomato, the lovely capers there, the freshness of the basil, and the lemon is important. Now I'm going to give another little bit more lemon. You can never have enough lemon. Watch those fingers. We're going to put in our pasta. Pardon me. So just mix this all through. It must be the chili. So mix this all through. So if you have a little look at that, just combine everything together. Smells good. Okay. And then we're going to serve up. It's as simple as that. Because the pasta was warm. So we just get our tongs, or you can use a spoon. So I want to get the pasta, kind of mix it all through using the tongs. If you just look at this here, so you're combining it all together here. Now what you can do, you can put this at the center of the table and let everyone help themselves. But I'm going to arrange this. Okay, let's try and do this. 1, 2, 3, into the center. Lovely. So you can use linguine, you can use spaghetti. This is the fresh spaghetti, which cooks really, really fast. Just going to wipe that there. I'm going to get more of that lovely crab and tomato and those capers. See that there? So I'm just going to literally just spoon that over there, kind of spread it out. And what does it need? Very, very little, but I think a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese on top of this. Yeah. That's all you need. And then just for a little bit of freshness, we have some lovely fresh basil. Why not? And a little bit of more lemon. So for me, that beautiful Irish brown crab meat works so well. Just wipe the plate. A little bit of extra fresh basil just gives so much freshness to the actual dish. And there you have it. That is my spaghetti with tomatoes and our lovely Irish brown crab. So I hope you try this recipe. You can have it as spicy or non-spicy. If you don't have fresh chili, you can use a little bit of harissa spice, or you can use even some dried chili, you know, the dried chili flakes, but it works really, really well. So try the crab. It's definitely worth the Irish brown crab. It's a fantastic product, and I hope you enjoy this recipe, and you can serve it any kind of pasta or even with some rice. So happy cooking, everyone, and thank you very much.